Okay, all over the front pages today, the German elections, where the far-right party have had their best ever result. So you can see the classic Guardian. Conservatives set to lead German coalition as far-right party surges. I suppose the temptation is you draw a line across from the German result to the British one and the Reform Party with Nigel Farage, who won't like the connection. The issue is whether you can shut out a second-place party, isn't it, Samuel?
Yeah.
The Germans are going to shut them out.
Well, there'll have to be a coalition between the CDU and another mainstream
But
party.
not with them.
Yeah, but then there will be the official opposition, which means technically they're not shut out. They're going to have a really loud voice.
Yeah, but there'll be a party that didn't come second in coalition.
Yeah.
A party they beat will have power, and they won't. And that just seems, that's not democratic, is it, Marina?
That's the way coalitions work, right? So the party with the biggest voter share is going to obviously have more of a say. But I actually think is it a good thing? Possibly. If we look at the Conservatives who are in opposition now, I don't think they're actually having much of an impact at all. They're dwindling.
No, Reform are the ones on the ascendancy. Right?
Well, yeah, the Reform are
Although
topping the polls.
I feel like
at the
they've
moment.
also hit a bit of a ceiling.
I'm not sure about that.
I do think that their poll, once it has been sort of, they've shown their support. I do think their poll is capped. I also think seeing right-wing parties in power and seeing what's happening with Trump is going to lead to people going, oh, hang on a second.
Well, it's certainly Trump, Zelensky, which we'll talk about in a second, has put Nigel Farage in a difficult position because he doesn't want to necessarily support Trump on the Zelensky thing. Just to say, when I was in South Africa, I met my friend's British who got married, and he had a big international. His wife's German. Lots of people from all over the world. I got talking to this guy who's a doctor who's German. His background would be Middle Eastern, and we didn't really get into it, but Iraqi, Iranian, whatever. And I asked him about the election, and he said, to be honest with you, we're leaving. My wife is pregnant. He said the racism is so bad in Germany, even to a doctor like me, it's so bad, I can't trust this country to look after my child. And we're going to live in Dubai.
Okay.
And I thought, this is it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Can you imagine having that conversation with someone in Britain?
Well, I've had conversations with people in the States who've said that they want to leave because Donald Trump is the president. But, there have been many failures along the line. And this is the challenge. When populism rises, people often think that it happens overnight. Very often it happens because those in the mainstream do not listen or do not get the proper feeling for what people are going through. And clearly Angela Merkel actually had the right intentions, but the levels of migration in Germany have probably far too high.
That's what's done it. But he said that his patients are fine with him because they see him as their doctor. Once he's out of particularly out of the big cities and he's in the countryside, he is not welcome. It's 3 years to the day that Russia invaded Ukraine. Here it is on the front page of the Mirror. President Zelensky saying he'll resign if that brings peace to his country, and if Ukraine can become a member of NATO. I don't know. He hasn't got all the cards in the deck at the moment, has he? That's the trouble.
No, I think that's the right thing for Zelensky to say. I think it's a shame that he's been forced into that position. But if he has to capitulate so that Trump and Putin can try and make out they've had some kind of win, I think it's the right thing to do for the country.
Well, look, we will talk about that next.